G'day everyone and welcome to episode 580 of Aussie Tech Heads. It's nearly the end of another week, so how you going? Hope you had a good one. It is the 20th of the 4th today, a day later this week recording, but you know, that's what happens. We're without the big Jason, that number one podcaster in the world, Warlock, this week. He's off doing something or other, having a rest, having a sleep, as he likes to say, well, I'm doing when I have a day off. So he's having a sleep somewhere. But we've got Jordan. We'll get to him in a second. We are brought to you by ATH Web Hosting. Drag and drop website builder comes free with the Pro and Business plan. So as it is what it says, it's called SitePad. You find it in the C panel and then you load up a theme, all pre-designed, and you just say click on the text that you don't like, change it to something else. It's pretty easy. Easier than installing the WordPress and all the updates maybe and all that sort of stuff that comes with the hassle of WordPress. But in talking about WordPress, you can install that quite easily with the script, the Softacular script, and it's about 3 clicks and you're done. So that's all good. We do domain registration and all that sort of stuff, SSL certificate. So jump on board, athwebhosting.com.au. Now, you can also find us on the AussieTechRadio.com. Just go to your TuneIn Radio app, cross-platform, no matter where you are, and download the TuneIn Radio app and search up Aussie Tech Radio. You can find us on Facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads. Please like us and move our posts to the top. We don't post too often, but when we do, by God, it's important. And YouTube.com/Aussie Tech Heads. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but if we get to 1,000, well, we can make $1 every 2 years, so that'd be good. AussieTechHeads.com.au/podcast for the show notes and other stuff on the webpage that you might find interesting. If you want to get us on the Twitter, don't forget the Aussie Tech News. It's a little Twitter feed that will just pop in 2 or 3 stories every half an hour. You know, it could be of interest. It's a little bot that does that. You can follow the @Aussie Tech News on the Twitter, @Aussie Tech Heads, which is the main Twitter account, or me @Glenn Goodman. #OzTechHeads. Don't forget the Aussie Mac Zone, My Tech Opinion, the Aussie Tech Crypto, and that's it. That's good. All right, well, let's have a listen or a catch up with Jordan. How you doing, Jordan? Oh, we've lost his audio. We've lost your audio. Somehow.
Hang on,
there we go.
We had it muted while I coughed before. Sorry about that. How are you?
Yeah, good. How's your week been?
Oh, yeah, busy.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't do the show yesterday, so...
No, that's right. Busy.
Just been busy. My kids are getting into secondary school. We've been doing the tours. We don't get much choice on what night they allow us to come and see the secondary colleges, so off we go.
Is that for next year?
For next year.
Yeah, so they start early, don't they?
Yeah, they get into it a year early.
Yeah, right.
They reckon the earlier the better if you can get into it. If you want somewhere that you want your kids to go. Now we didn't have a choice. We couldn't pick the night for the open night. So
yeah, well, no, that's right.
Couldn't make the podcast.
So I was just giving you a bit of a hurry up about you're wearing a jumper. So that's what things are happening. It's starting to cool down around the country.
Oh
yeah.
So we had fog this morning. So thick, it's still there. I reckon.
Wow.
Some of it.
So
just a little bit.
What temperature is that? Fog's about 5, something like that.
Oh, I have no idea. I just know it was cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
can't go to sleep in your t-shirt anymore. You got to wear a tracksuit.
Oh,
bed.
yeah, right.
It's cold overnight.
Oh no, it's nothing like that here on the old Goldie. Yeah, because I turned on. Yeah, I turned on and you're in this jumper and everything, and I'm just sitting here with a t-shirt, window wide open, hammering for a breeze, going, "Come this way," because it's not hot, but it's just it's nice. It's very nice.
Yeah. Very jealous.
Yeah.
Actually, my mum's heading up that way next week. She's looking forward to it. She's a bit scared of heading out to the airport tomorrow morning.
Doesn't like flying?
She's worried about the fog.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah. If she's worried it's going to be foggy again tomorrow morning. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, they're pretty responsible, aren't they? If there's too much fog, they don't fly. That's how it works.
Oh, it's not the plane. She's worried about driving the car.
Oh, right. Okay, right.
At 6 o'clock in the morning because she's got to drive to the airport or whatever. And
yeah, right. I remember as a
75-year-old woman a bit worried about getting out in the fog.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
No, neither would I. I remember, I think when I was a kid, we were driving somewhere, and it's pretty much the only time we've driven in, that I've experienced the thick fog, and that was, must have been down, mid-central coast near Cessnock, Newcastle somewhere, I think. And I just remember, it can get thick. And I did live in Albury there for a year, about 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, there was some fog. And not that I drove at night time, but in the morning, you woke up and you had to go for a drive. And fair, you really couldn't see 5-10 metres in front of you.
You can't see 2 foot in front of you.
Yeah.
You put your headlights on or something and it just makes it worse.
Yeah, because I think your headlights reflect off the fog and come back at you. So, you don't want to be doing that. So look, this week...
So that mixed with slow reflexes and you asking for trouble, yeah.
Yes. Well, you can see, I sort of could see after that experience how, you hear about all these, 50-car pile-ups overseas. And that's right, people are just zooming along at 100, can't see 2 foot in front of you. And so obviously if someone just has a crash in the back of someone, it just goes dunk, 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 like a little...
Especially when there's ice on the road as well.
Yeah, well, that too. All these added little dangers. Yes. So, look... Yeah. What's been happening this week is that last Friday, my internet went out again. So that's the second time in 3 weeks. Yes, so pretty upset because, like, as you know, everything just grinds to a halt. It's like I know I've got the hotspot on the phone, and that's well and good, but it just doesn't cut it, does it, when you need the internet to be routed throughout the house.
How good's your service
on the
phone? Yeah,
it's not too bad. But I mean, like, say I had a few computers I had to fix, and say when I formatted them, they can't, like, say you can't get you got to download the Wi-Fi or the Ethernet driver. So you got to plug your phone into another computer, download the driver, then take it back over to the computer you're fixing, try and plug it in. It's just a lot of dicking around.
Slow process. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, look, I started looking into this new Telstra smart modem. It was one of these things they give you nowadays, and if your internet fails, it just falls back to 4G. And I thought, oh yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? So, and then I had a look into it.
You have to put a dongle in it, don't you?
No, I think it's got a SIM in it.
Oh right.
Yeah, a Telstra SIM. And as far as I know, and from what I could see, that it'll be 4G, comes off your home plan as well. So that's really good. But,
well, that is good, because then if you're having really bad internet connection, you can just leave it on the 4G and it still comes off you.
Well, not too quick there, because the further you read, it is limited. The speed is limited. So it's limited to... Oh, really? Yeah, 6 down.
I wonder if I wonder how that'd go with the static IP. I suppose if you change from one connection to another, they're not going to give you the same IP address, are they?
No, you'd have to get one of those.
So if you've got your FreeNAS or something going on in the background and you want to access it remotely and your internet drops off and switches over to 4G, you probably won't get it.
No, you'd have to have some sort of, something like that, duck DNS or whatever it is.
Yeah, DNS or something. Yeah. DNS is the one I think I've used before.
Oh, yes, yeah. I think I used something. Yeah, I can't remember now. I use it something for cameras, for the security cameras. Yeah, I've used one.
Free DNS is pretty good. They allow you to, I think it's have as much as you want, but you've just got to log in every 30 days or 90 days or something, or they close your account.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's something similar. Mine wasn't free DNS. I forget what that one was called, but anyway, I don't know. There's heaps of them out there.
Yeah, there is quite a few.
Yeah, so anyway, it was out from Friday till Monday. And so that wasn't good, on the weekend. And then my phone ran out of data because I was streaming the footy all Saturday.
Well, that'll learn you.
Well, yes. Well,
don't watch any more footy.
No, well, then, so once the phone ran out, because I'm with Aldi.
That's never going to happen.
Well, the phone ran out because I was with Aldi. And then I thought, okay, I'll just recharge. But because you run out, you can't connect to the Aldi app because you haven't got any data. So then I tried to ring Aldi. You can't ring them. They're all on holidays, or they're all off, or they're not answering. They're at home because this was at like 5 o'clock at night, and so then I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do? And then you're just dicking around, and so I had to hotspot my phone to the wife's phone, jump on the Aldi app, recharge, and it was just the whole thing is just a complete mess.
The Aldi app free. I would have thought that'd still work.
So would I. Yes, so would I.
Yeah, it would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yes, it does. It does make sense. But
you get what you pay for, they say, don't you?
And then I thought, well, so anyway, so that was a big mess. But it came back Monday afternoon, and surprisingly, and it must be one of the techs must listen to the show and like what he hears, because surprisingly, the internet come back and it's actually gone. I was on a 2.5 up. I actually speed tested at 5 up. So go figure that one. So anyway, doesn't matter. Happy camper.
Happy camper.
Yeah, but the NBN, it was supposed to be at the end of this month, so I logged onto the site and now it's the end of March 2019. So go figure that one. They've been digging the joint up all over the show and pushed the date back to a year. So I can't work that one out.
I've got a mate who just had NBN connected at his factory.
Yeah.
And the NBN came up on the other side of the road. So what they did is they came in and they put a temporary post.
Right.
And they put the cord hanging over the road to the building across the road.
Right.
I don't know if it was temporary or they're going to leave it permanent. I don't know. Okay. And then about 2 or 3 days later, a big semi-truck thing with heaps of cars on it came in and clipped it and knocked it down.
Bugger.
And they lost their connection. So they rang Telstra to get it fixed. And they rang back and said he has to start a whole new connection.
Oh, no. So he hasn't got the internet.
So he had to go through the whole process of applying and getting the line checked and setting it up and getting the modems out and techies out to do this and that. Well, how annoying.
Yes.
And how stupid.
Yeah, it's very... Look, the whole thing is stupid. I rang the Ombudsman just to inquire what sort of compensation I'm allowed to try and claim, apart from just, the pro rata, $3 a day that it's out. And she goes, well, are you using it for business? And I went, well, yeah. She goes, I knew where this is going straight away. And she goes, oh, is it in a business name? And I went, nah. And she goes, well, you gotta, do your own risk mitigation assessment or something. And she goes, if you're going to lose internet, well, then you need to be subscribed to another one. So you just switch over. I went, yeah, righto, thanks.
For big business, maybe.
Yeah, I said, yeah, thanks for that. I'll talk to you later. But yeah, so that's where. Yeah, that's right. Like, how ridiculous.
Well, they could just offer, a better hotspot system, couldn't they?
Yeah. So, look, I don't know. I think next I've got this modem that will take a 4G dongle, and I'm thinking that next time it goes out, I will just go down the shop and just get a 4G dongle. And
I think mine does that too.
Yeah,
the one I've got, but I've got one of those little square wireless ones. It can take up to about 5 connections wirelessly. And then I've just got the data share SIM.
Right.
So $5 a month on my phone, I get an extra SIM attached to my normal phone.
Yeah, okay.
Data. And then that I can turn that on and I can have up to 5 wireless connections into the one unit.
Well, I thought I could
I picked up one of them on eBay secondhand, I think, for about $50, $40-50.
Oh,
it's just like a little, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a little dome thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It'd be something like this is one from Vodafone. And
one of those prepaid thingamajiggies.
Yeah, so I had this in the drawer, the pocket Wi-Fi it is. That's what I'm holding up. And I thought, oh, cool, I'll just ring up Vodafone, recharge this little fella, and I'll be away, little Wi-Fi hotspot for everyone. And so I ring up Vodafone, and I said, I want to recharge this, please. And they go, how long since it hasn't been charged? And I said, oh, it'll be probably 2 years. And they go, oh, you need to go to the shop and get another SIM. It just wasn't working for me at all. So
and then you can't use anybody else's SIM; you have to use theirs. Probably.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So it just wasn't working. So I just went out and did the yard work for something different. Dug a few holes, planted a few fruit trees, planted a lemon tree and an orange tree. So see how that goes in a couple of years. All right.
Good to see if you could get the get your router or something to switch wirelessly to a connection wirelessly. That'd be the go, wouldn't it? So if you did have a hotspot there, you could have your router just switch over to the Wi-Fi hotspot and then share internet across the rest of the network.
Yeah.
That'd be
because that was the hardest thing. Like, I didn't mind if it was slow because, say he's sharing the hotspot, but it was just that I just couldn't share either. Just everything, it's just amazing. Like, everything you go and do, it required a connection to internet through your router. In the end, I turned my computers off, turned the server off. I just said, that's it. I've had enough. Pulled the blind down and I went out until it come back on. But but that's life. That's what happens. All right, let's get into this.
What would have you done in the old days with a dial-up connection? You'd be lost.
I know. Like the kids and everything, they were all outside. It was amazing. I've never seen the likes. Yeah, the kids every time we come home, like we go out or whatever, and the young fella would just race straight in. What he did, he goes straight in, look at the modem. That's all he did. It's still down. Still down.
Back outside.
Yeah, that's right. And then one time
Just when you want them to get off their iPads or whatever, just switch the modem off. You'll be right.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. They were all outside. We're having fun. Yeah, all right. We better get into some stories here. There wasn't much around this week. I know that you probably didn't find too much either. I've probably found less than you, actually. But look, I'll start off with one of mine. It's JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks, and Myer are going to be reselling the Amazon Echo Spot. Now, if you haven't heard of the Spot, it doesn't look too bad, actually. It arrives in Australia later this month. The new smart speaker, so it comes in a smaller design compared to the other Amazon devices. It includes a circular display screen to complement Alexa. So, the Alexa Australia and New Zealand country manager, Sylvia Ding, said, "See the weather, watch video news briefings, glance at your alarm clock, make video calls, and more. We think customers in Australia will find lots of places for Echo Spot in their homes." The Echo Spot will be available in store and shipped out to customers on the 26th of April. Pre-orders are starting this week on Amazon Australia for $199. So it doesn't look too bad. I'm not really into all these speaker things, but I think, you know what, the one with the screen could get my attention. Doesn't look too bad, does it?
Yeah, it looks all right.
You know, if you say, I want to watch the footy highlights, and you actually can watch them.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So
how big is it, did you say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know how big it is. It doesn't say. Actually, it doesn't say. Let me see if I can Google how big is this Echo? How big is Echo Spot? Because you want them, otherwise you'd be, it's a 2.5 inch screen. So it's relatively small. What's 2.5 inches? That'd be about 8 centimetres, would it be? Something like that. That's not too bad, I suppose. But I see I did read a story that the Apple HomePod, or whatever they call it, that's not
you're
going
to have a screen on it for kind of, to watch stuff.
Yeah, and it's just something.
2.5 inch screen to watch stuff would be, I suppose if you've got it in the kitchen or something and you're cooking, you can put something on it. Well, you need your glasses on, though.
From looking at this picture here that we've got of it, it's a circular screen, so it must be a 2.5 inch diameter screen.
Yeah,
you'd be thinking
as big as a watch, more or less.
Yeah. It looks like it's got a little camera spot up there. I'd say I don't know why it would want a camera. Maybe you could actually do some FaceTiming. Yeah. So $199. So that's interesting.
It'd be interesting to see when they come out, and or get some reviews off YouTube or something, and have a look at them and see what people say.
Yeah. Well, there's a
as you do before you buy anything these days.
Yeah, there's an Amazon Echo Spot review on this Tech Radar. So this is obviously from the US. Let me have a look at this here. I'll put that on there. It says the verdict. We'll go straight to the chase. The verdict. This is from. Who's this from? Tech Radar. Yeah, I said that. The Amazon Echo Spot is the best-looking Echo product out there. A versatile Alexa-toting video device that wants to be in your bedroom, your kitchen, your office. Now, the pluses are lovely form factor. Video is clear. Against the negatives, a round screen means video cropping. Ooh. Pricier than the regular Echo.
Yeah, you said $199. I thought it's a bit steep, but.
But yeah, so it looks like and
it would be a bit of cropping. I mean, take a TV and round the corners off. You'd probably miss quite a bit, wouldn't you? When you think about it.
Yeah, and there's a picture there of it being used as like a digital clock. It's got a clock face on it.
Yeah, it'd be good for an alarm clock or something.
Yeah. Maybe Warlock
kids can go to bed watching something on YouTube.
Don't they get enough YouTube?
I think so.
Yeah. So that's the Echo. So that sounds good. So
there you go.
Yeah, if you're into those, go and have a look at one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Now, what have you got cracking there? You got a few stories this week.
Yeah, I'll give you the one that I emailed myself first, then I can close my email app if I can click on it. It was nothing huge. It was just Microsoft brings Edge Defender browser protection to Google's Chrome. Here I am being a bit of an Edge fan.
Yes.
The page is still loading. Here we go. Microsoft, in what appears to be a move to promote its unloved Edge browser, has released a Windows Defender browser protection extension for Chrome. Chrome already has Google Safe browsing technology to warn users against visiting phishing and malware sites, so there doesn't seem to be much reason for Microsoft to release a Chrome add-on that does the same thing. However, according to Microsoft, the two are equal. The Windows Defender browser protection extension offers superior protection to Chrome that Windows 10 users would see if they only used Edge. Windows Defender browser protection extension for Google Chrome allows you to add an additional layer of protection when browsing online, powered by the same trusted intelligence found in Microsoft Edge. The extension alerts you to known malicious links and gives you a clear path back to safety, Microsoft explains. As with Google Safe Browsing, Microsoft Chrome extension will produce a big red institution warning. Where am I up to? If a user is about to visit a harmful site. Microsoft points to a study published in October comparing how effective major web browsers were blocking phishing threats and socially engineered malware, which said NSS Labs, which said it wasn't paid by any other browser maker, found that Edge protection against 99% of socially engineered malware, while Google Chrome had 87%.
Okay.
And Mozilla relies on Google Safe Browsing and they block about 70%.
Yeah, well, I think Google
There's a few statistics there to get through, but the basics is, that. So
yeah, I think Google is probably leading the charge, isn't it? Like they're sort of seen to be the front runners when it comes to,
Yeah, but it says here that they've got a higher percentage rate with Microsoft on protection.
The Edge has got a high percentage of...
Yeah, it says here that the study looked at the Smart Screen URL scanner and application reputation, two services Microsoft builds into Edge and IE that are equivalent to Google Safe Browsing. NS Labs found that Edge blocked 92.3%.
That's not bad, yeah. I guess so.
Beating Chrome's block rate of 74% and Firefox at 61%.
Yeah, so so I was... Yeah, probably more that the Chrome is that when I say like they seem to be leading, I meant like say they lead with they've got the red screen if they find the page is dodgy. They've got
which is hard to get rid of once you've got
one. And they're sort of enforcing SSL sites with SSLs. Otherwise, you're going to get a warning if you go to a non-SSL site. So it's amazing just to think back, back 20 years ago that Internet Explorer, I think market share was like, 97% or something like that, in the 90s. And now I think it's third, Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft. Well, Internet Explorer is gone anyway. It's Edge now, isn't it?
And I still would have preferred it over Edge. I used to love my Internet Explorer.
Yeah, well, it's still there.
But I discovered what was slow in mine. They've got that tab feature. You can reserve your tabs for later in Edge.
Right.
So you take all the tabs that you've got open and you click a little button and they get hidden in the left corner. And I had about 7 or 8 or 9 tab sections that were all there. So I didn't realise that once they're there, they're still held
in the memory, like they're still
in the memory.
Were they still like refreshing? Do you think as well?
I don't know. I just found it. I stumbled across it on the internet. Someone said to me, or someone said on the internet that, are you aware that if you've got all those tabs saved, that uses up a heap of RAM?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
So as soon as I just closed a few of them off and added anything to favourites that I wanted to keep, it freed it up a bit. I haven't had much of a problem since. I'm not sure if that's what the problem was, but that seems to be a good place to start. So.
Well, I have to tell you how happy I am with my free NAS server. Just to change subject.
I can see it sitting behind you.
That is sitting behind me for those on the YouTubes. It had a little issue through the week, and but issue has been remedied and solved, and I'm so happy. Like I did have a little while because I've only gone to the free NAS server for the last 6 months, 8 months or so, and I had a little issue with a drive that failed, and I just thought. And I looked up how to replace the drive, and I identified the drive, just took it out, put another one in, no loss of data, nothing, absolutely perfect, love it. And then this time it wouldn't boot. something happened and it dropped off the network. I thought, I wonder what's going on
So
here.
that was using RAID, obviously, when you pulled your drive out and put another one in.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Some sort of RAID. I don't know which one it was doing, but it was doing something. I think it was the most efficient, one, because I didn't want to actually mirror, because that, I didn't want to double my hard drive space, but it was the most efficient one to keep everything nice. And so anyway, but the other day, it just dropped off the network, so I had to pull it up on the desk to put it in front of a monitor and keyboard, etc. And because what happens is it boots from the USB, and that's the whole operating system is on this USB, and then the drives inside it are just for your data. So you're always a bit hesitant when you got to, you read all the what to dos, and it says, reinstall the OS. You think, what's going to happen to all the data? Is it if I do something wrong, it's all going to wipe things as a new one and whatever, whatnot.
That scares me too with the RAIDs, because what happens with the RAIDs if the system's gone? Does it know how to rebuild the RAID?
Yeah, well,
I suppose it does. I've never used a RAID. I've always been a bit scared of it.
Yeah, well, the FreeNAS sort of managed it all through when I just did the setup wizard, and it was just pretty easy. But anyway,
and it just picked up the RAID and.
I asked you which one you wanted to do.
Okay. So
it said, do you want to do 0 to 5 or whatever it was? It said
this. So you didn't have to reload any of your data or anything.
No. So, so I initially put once I had the clean initial system, I loaded all the data onto it.
I thought you rebuilt it.
No, I loaded all the data on. Then when one drive failed, I just took that drive out and then put another drive in, and then it just all mixed back in with its magic.
Perfect.
So, but anyway,
why didn't it work out? Why didn't it boot?
Yeah, so it had some corruption on the USB for some reason. So it just said reinstall the FreeNAS software on the USB, and it should be right. And so I'm thinking, how's it going to rebuild? Blah 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 blah. So anyway, went through the setup. Downloaded, burned it to ISO, burned it to CD, the setup, booted up in the CD, said, install it on the USB, and then it said, do you want to format and install completely, or just format and sort of like do an update sort of thing? And I just went, update thing, and so I just reinstalled into, it must be like a different partition on the USB or something, whatever it did, and then at the end it just booted up and away it went. Data still there, everything. It was just one of the easiest processes, and it was good. Yeah, it was good.
But as you know, I'm a bit of an Open Media Vault fan.
Yes.
Which is and I believe the guy that started Open Media Vault was actually someone that used to work for FreeNAS, and
right.
I think he kind of ventured off and did his own thing. But I must admit, when I first started with Open Media Vault, I used to use the USB for the operating system as well, and it gave me nothing but trouble because you constantly write into the USB drives, and USB drives don't like being written to over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Until they just died. And then I believe it came out later. I stopped using USB drives, but after that, they invented a plugin, or someone wrote a plugin for Open Media Vault that allows you to do all of the writing to somewhere else on one of your real discs, and then just only ever reading from your USB.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
So I don't know whether it's worth looking into on FreeNAS to see if there's a plugin of sorts, or whether FreeNAS actually writes to the USB often or not.
Well, from what I understood, and I didn't go like right into it, but from what I sort of understood on a very basic level, was that once it's loaded, there's not much read-writing going on. The operating.
Yeah, but even a little bit over time.
Yes.
If it writes good just a little bit every day, for over time, they don't last. I think my USB sticks lasted a few months, and then I'd be replacing them.
And that's probably what happened.
And then I went and bought an SSD USB card, a USB drive. And that lasted a bit longer, but it didn't like the USB. I think it just didn't like it anyway.
Right.
And then eventually I went and bought. I just thought, well, why not just get a little mini SSD drive?
Yep.
So I looked on eBay and I found like little 8 and 16 gig ones for like $20 and $30.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, because I thought, maybe, if this USB thing keeps giving me drama, I probably will go to an SSD drive. But at the moment, I just thought, why am I going to spend $80 or $100 on an SSD drive when it's only 8 gig of it being used?
Yeah.
And
so jump on eBay and they've got them. I think the last one I bought was off Gear Best. I think it was a King Spec or something was the brand.
Right. Okay.
Like just a little 16 gig. In fact, I think I've got one sitting here actually on the floor. There it is. Like a little. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yes.
SSD.
King. What's the King? King Din.
Upside down, is it? Oh, King Din.
King Din.
I picked that up off Gear Best. Go that way.
Yeah, right.
It's opposite on the screen there.
Down bit.
Which way is which? There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I got that on Best for about $20, $25.
Right, and it's got the SATA connectors and everything, so it's just like an SSD drive.
Just normal SATA drive. Yeah, normal SATA drive.
Okay. I probably will do that if this USB stick keeps giving me dramas, because it is a look, it is a promotional USB stick that I had laying around, so it's probably not the best quality. But yeah, I think.
Have you got an ID? And it's probably a 2 newer computer. Does it have IDE on it? Because you can get just a little old IDE drive.
No, it hasn't got one of those.
Use up the socket rather than using up your SATA sockets. Use old IDE.
Oh, geez, I haven't seen IDE for ages. I chucked all my IDE crap out not too long ago.
I bought like off eBay a little $5 adapter.
Oh, and
it plugs into the IDE, and then I just plug the SSD card into that. It gives me a SATA port off that. It's only running a tiny basic operating system GUI much off it.
I think the only IDE thing I've got now, I think it might be a little.
I don't think there's any speed loss really or anything. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I've got a new IDE laptop drive in the cupboard, and that's just because I never used it when I was using them. All right.
There you go. You've got one. You've got a drive sitting there you can use then.
But it's IDE. I'm not going to look. I don't like converters as a bit of a rule.
Have you got IDE already in the?
No,
that machine?
No. That's a bit newer than that. Yeah, actually, I've got.
No, that's what I thought. You probably wouldn't have it.
Yeah. All right. Give us another story, Jordan, because I know you've got a few this week.
I've got a few. Yeah. All right. Let me look at this one. We've just got this new Windows Store app. So I'm hoping it holds up.
The Windows Store. You found
my news programs.
You found something useful in the Windows Store. I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's called Newsstand. I was looking for the Google one, but it didn't happen. Intel is ditching wearables like smart glass. Do you want to hear about that one?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or do you want to hear about something else?
Whatever.
That was just the first one on my list. What do we got?
Well, just read the what are they ditching? Wearable what?
Oh, we'll go back into it.
Oh, sorry. No, whatever.
Intel is ditching wearables like smart glasses.
Right.
Intel is shutting down its new device group, which developed the Vaunt. Is it Vaunt? The Vaunt Smart Glass project, according to published reports. Shutting down the unit is expected to cost jobs from a team that has around 200 people. The group was formed in 2013 to develop products such as fitness trackers and smart glasses, but the products weren't successful despite having partnership with Oakley and Tag Heuer. That's how you say it.
Oh, yeah.
Intel will stay focused on making chips for various applications as well as other hardware. Intel CEO Brian, can't say his last name, Krenich or something, announced a formation of the group in 2013, soon after taking over from Paul Oatlin.
Right.
Intel shares are up 48% from last year. That's all the story has. There's nothing else in it. Very short one. Yeah. Just basically closed down. I probably should have read more of that before.
Well, I wonder why. Wonder what the decision behind that was, because you've got the Google glasses closed down. It doesn't seem like why would all these glasses be closing down? I think when it comes to watches and so forth, or fitness items, like I think Fitbit really has those. Fitbit's got the exercise market, and I think that Tag Heuer, or however you say it, because Eric bought one of those watches. They're really, really nice smart watches. And,
okay, I've never seen one.
Yeah, they're really nice watches. So, so I wonder why that is. I reckon it's probably because, they've probably had those, maybe they've had the two problems of late, those two faults in their CPUs. And maybe they just think, maybe we just got to stick with our core business model and we'll just do CPUs and let others do the glasses and the watches and all that sort of stuff. Maybe they
that's right.
Spread themselves too thin. Don't know. Who knows?
But at the same time, you've got Apple talking about making chips and all that as well. So maybe they don't want too much competition.
I can see why Apple wants to make the chips. I think their own chips. I get that. They're big control freaks, so I can see why they want to do their own chips. And if I was Apple, one of probably the second or first richest company in the world, billions of dollars, probably buy and sell Intel, a couple of times. Why not make your own chips? Just stands to reason. It's good. Then you control everything. But what were you? You also had one about Facebook making chips or something.
Yes, I did, and I think I jinxed myself on the news app because I was just trying to open it.
Oh, it's that bloody Microsoft Store.
No, well, it's not Microsoft Store's fault. It's the app that I've opened.
That's rubbish apps on that store. Facebook. Hang
I
on,
just can't get. I can't get it. You'll have to bring it up. I can't get it to scroll.
Well, I've never. That's all right. I've got it here. I've never heard of this. I don't know why they'd be doing it. Let me just find a story that's going to be nice. Facebook reportedly looking to design its own chips. Seen it. This will give us some info.
Yeah.
Now,
sounds good.
I'll probably have to read a bit of this because I didn't pull this one in as a story. But so Facebook is assembling a team. Oh,
this is CNET, and here are the stories that.
I hate all those start things. Facebook is assembling a team to design its own semiconductors, joining other tech titans that have recently invested in building their own chips. Yep, so we just spoke about those. One job posting on Facebook corporate website, highlighted by the news agency, is for a manager to create an end-to-end SoC/ASIC firmware and driver development organisation. Oh, wow. So as I say, it wasn't immediately clear what specific application Facebook might have in mind for the chip, the company. But where are they going to put the chips? Hang on, I'll just keep reading. By developing its own chip.
Keep reading. Probably in their servers or something.
By developing its own chip, the company would join other tech giants, hoping to reduce their dependence on chip makers such as Intel and Qualcomm. Apple, for example, builds its own chips, blah, blah, blah. Apple now makes its own application processors, access to blah, blah, blah. Google developed chips in-house to process AI apps, boasting they are 15 to 30 times % faster than today's conventional CPUs and GPUs. But that's all right, because that's new tech. They're putting something into like glasses. But what's Facebook doing? They're on the internet, unless they're going to start actually making physical things.
I think it said in the news one I was reading that they were going to be able to use them in their own systems and their servers and things like that.
Yeah, this might be the guts of it here. So the job descriptions fit into two categories: chips for artificial intelligence, also called machine learning, and for Facebook's Oculus visual reality headsets. So I guess maybe for the artificial intelligence, I guess if they're going to have like a big server room full of machines that just does artificial intelligence, I guess why not put your own chips in them? Then they can't, then people, they're not Intels or whatever, so less chance of hacking and manipulation, I guess. So it must be, so that sort of thing. So who would have thunk? Facebook making their own chips. Crazy stuff. Yeah. Crazy stuff.
It surprised me as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but there you go. But look, I found one that sort of was a bit intriguing. The HP has launched a printer into space. So Elon Musk put his car up there, so HP thought we'll put a printer up there. But it is not just going to float around aimlessly like the car. It is actually going to the space station up there. So the beauty of it is it had to be specifically designed because obviously there's zero gravity. So you would think the ink would just squirt out everywhere. It wouldn't hit the paper as hard. So I'll read a bit here of this one. So last year NASA... they're working with HP on a customised version of the HP OfficeJet 5740 to be used in zero gravity. Now, they said designing a printer to work in zero gravity came with a unique set of challenges. Now, according to HP, the ISS, which is the International Space Station, goes through 2 reams of paper a month, which is used to print procedural and mission-critical information, such as emergency e-books. Geez, wouldn't they all be ready to be printed by the time you get up there? So... Inventory return trajectories, right? Why wouldn't you just print these? And before you go,
I don't know why you would print anything in this day and age, to be honest. But
they need the Amazon Echo.
Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Post it up there when they need to send it back, or
they need the Amazon Echo. So timelines and personal items like photographs, take them with you. One of the major challenges was ink, which could easily leak without gravity and damage other equipment on the station. The ISS uses a unique waste ink system to clean the print heads, ensuring wasted ink is gathered on adsorbent pads without gravity. Well, that's pretty much how it worked anyway. I busted open a Canon once and it had like foam in its ink dump. The printer is also flame retardant plastic to survive any adverse conditions and has no glass. which could become dangerous if broken. The input-output trays allowed for unattended operation, so paper can't get loose on the station. It can also print from multiple orientations. The printer was launched on the SpaceX CRS-14 rocket on the 2nd of April. So that SpaceX, that was the same rocket Elon put the car in. NASA manager of
probably.
The ISS Computer Resources, Stephen Hunter, told partners at the HP Annual Australian Partner Conference, HP Evolution in Melbourne this week, that printer had started operating as of Wednesday. The International Space Station printer replaced an old Epson 800 printer on the station, which had been used since 1996. Bloody hell.
Geez, they got that early.
I know. Gee, and it's still running.
They must have got the technology before us, eh?
1996. That must have been, geez, that's getting to the early days of inkjet. I think I saw my first inkjet printer around about 95-ish, might have been. But
yeah, probably.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's what I'm saying. They got it early. They got it before we got it. They probably paid thousands of dollars for it too.
Yeah. So
Back
good on
those
them.
days.
Well, I remember, I think it was a Canon BJC 9000 or something like that. One of the first ones I saw. Pretty rudimentary, printer, inkjet printer. That was $999 from Harvey Norman. Back when that was my first one. I think I might have paid that too.
Yeah, something similar now to be about $50. $100.
Less, yeah. You can get scanners and everything now with them. So yeah, you're right.
It's amazing when technology comes out what it's worth.
But I've
got a space story to follow that up with if you like.
Yeah, all right, go. Yeah.
Unless you still want to talk about the printers.
No, well, you find that story. I was just going to say.
Oh, I do actually on the printer thing though. As I said before, I don't know why we're still printing anything these days. Why are we still printing? Why aren't we carrying our documents around in our iPads and that? Isn't that what people do now? Paper becoming part of the past.
I reckon we're actually printing more than what.
Why send a printer to a space station or whatever? Why can't they just send them an iPad?
Well, yeah, true.
And they can email or data, however they transfer information to and from,
Maybe they just want to circle stuff,
state,
But sometimes, I know, like I print stuff out because it's quicker just to say pick up a bit of paper off your desk or just quickly flip through a folder, to find what you're looking for rather than to open up your iPad, go into the app, search for what you're looking for, go through the search results and finally find what and bring that up. Sometimes it is quicker just to flip through. But
not if they're documents you've already got. If you don't have to search the internet for those.
No, that's right. Yeah, but I think, maybe they just want to, paste them up around the space station.
Yeah, well, that kind of makes sense. If you want to, laminate, they better send them a laminator while they're at it. Something to and some blue tack.
Just put it in the laminator, just hang it outside for a couple of seconds. It's just self-laminating.
Do not open airlock. Big sign on the thing. Do not open this door.
Laminating in process.
No smoking.
Yeah. All right. What's your little space one?
I've just got NASA's TESS spacecraft has blasted off from Earth in search of new planets that could support life, which always sounds exciting to me. TESS lifted off from Cape Canaveral, is that how you say it, in Florida?
Canaveral.
Canaveral? Yeah. I don't know how you say any of these states or cities or anything. On Wednesday evening, local time, riding a SpaceX Falcon rocket. The transiting exoplanet survey satellite will spend 2 years scouring 85% of the sky and hundreds of thousands of its brightest stars. The satellite, about the size of a washing machine, not a printer, will scan the stars for signs of periodic dimming, which may mean that planets are orbiting around them. Sorry for my stumbling there. It is hoped that TESS will find around 20,000 exoplanets, planets outside our solar system, with more than 50 expected to be Earth-sized. There are already 3,700 exoplanets that we know of and another 4,500 on the not yet verified list. TESS is looking for the ones that are Earth-like and close enough to allow scientists to study them further. They are particularly interested in those in the so-called Goldilocks or habitable zone of the stars. where temperatures are right for water and therefore human life.
So that was the interesting part of that was when it says that it's going to be looking at 85% of the sky, like
85% of our sky, yeah.
But what does that like? Do you mean? No, I mean, like, what does that mean? Like our
it would mean 85% of what you can see above you, I suppose.
Yeah, but then if this has got a satellite, a telescope or whatever, so it's searching deep, the 85% could be, well, the universe is infinite. So, but anyway, that's
it'd be 85%. It'd be 85% of what we can, what we can see, I suppose.
Yeah, that's just one of my little tangents. But I just looked up.
I can see your point.
Yeah, I was just picking it. I looked up what an X.
Once you really get out there and you can't see Earth anymore, is it really a sky anymore?
Well, exactly. That's right. Exactly.
Unless you're standing on the planet looking up, is it really a sky or is it just space?
Space. That's right. Exactly.
So it's 85% of the sky, not space.
And if there's no oxygen or air out in space, what's between everything?
That's space.
And what's that? What does that see? What's that made up of? Is it like dark matter or what? What is it?
Who knows?
Oh yeah, I do know.
Leave that to the specialists with the expensive printers.
We'll leave that to the flat earthers. Now the I looked up what exoplanet was because I didn't know what.
But I do like the idea of them finding more planets. A lot of people get scared of it. They worry we're going to find some alien life and piss someone off.
Nah,
and they'll come after invade us or something. But I don't think it'll get like that. I think it's great.
Remember, like a few years back now on April Fool's Day, it was that there's a report from the BBC that I don't know if you're aware. There's like with the Doctor Who show, the TV show, there's a lot of the old episodes are missing because the BBC trashed them to save space in the warehouse. So they just trashed all the old shows. But now they
a couple. Just a couple of shows to save space in the warehouse.
Oh, they trash a lot, just not Doctor Who, but just heaps of stuff. But now, the search is on to try and find these missing episodes and whatnot. And
they better start asking all the pirates from way back when.
Yeah, well, a couple. Yeah, well, some of them have been returned because people put a video camera in front of the TV and took video. Oh yeah, like it's not very good quality.
Old school pirating, that is.
That's right. Well, that's all the only technology that these people had. But the April Fool's thing was that the BBC put this story out saying every single episode of Doctor Who has been returned because what had happened was the broadcast had gone out in 1963, so it's reached somewhere in space and for some reason decided to turn back around and now it was being received back. So and we were receiving the 1963 broadcast back.
That's just stuck in a buffer.
That's right.
Somewhere.
That's one hell of a buffer. Microsoft would be proud.
Lost in time.
I saw that Lost in Space has got another new series coming out.
Yeah, I saw that. A brand spanker on Netflix or something.
Yes, yeah, something like that. That'd be interesting.
Pretty highly rated as well, I think. People are saying, I think I read an article saying that they've already started the second season, even without approval from whoever it is that they have to get it approved from, because they're so confident it's going to get approved for the next season.
Yeah, right. Okay, now moving on to something. This is a funny story. I don't know if you ever watched The King of Kong. If you know what I mean when I'm talking about The King of Kong, it's a movie about the high score battle of Donkey Kong, the arcade game.
Oh right. Yes. I think I have seen that movie actually. I think The King of Kong, a couple of kids or something.
Yeah, and they had a bit. The competition was who was the best, and then right at the end, one of the guys. He didn't play it live, but he had a recorded gameplay. And right at the end where he was going to pass the high score or something, it was at the dead zone or something or other, there was this like a big, how VHS tapes sort of went blurry and fuzzy and shook and sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that happened.
So you hit the tracking knob.
Yeah, so that happened on this video, and he's going, oh, that was just, part of the tape. But everyone was going, no, he's cut that, it's an edit, and all this sort of stuff. It was rigged. But anyway, so the competition and the animosity has risen its head again. The Donkey Kong champion has lost his title because now they're saying that he used an emulator. So the Donkey Kong world champion has been stripped of a record he set for the 1981 arcade classic following claims he did not use an original machine. Twin Galaxies, which tracks video game records, believes that Billy Mitchell's 1,047,200 score on the original Donkey Kong was achieved using an emulator. Wow.
So how does an emulator make make any difference, really?
Well, I think they're saying that you don't
Is the
know.
gameplay better or faster or who
Well,
knows?
that's right. You don't know because it's on an emulator. It's not on an original machine. So the code might have been tweaked or could have done something. But it does go on and says that the Twin Galaxies was alerted by Donkey Kong from forum moderator Jeremy Young that Mr. Young suspected that images seen in a video of this Billy Mitchell's Donkey Kong world record run were impossible to generate on the arcade machine. He believed the game must have been played on an emulator. Because remember, this guy got the world record, not because the other guy he was competing against, he was in an arcade, so everyone was watching him. But this guy who won, well, just at home, doing it at home with a video camera on his head or something. So dodgy. But anyway, Twin Galaxies did its own investigation, which led to conclude that Mr. Billy Mitchell had not used the original arcade machine. So in a post on its findings, this is so, it's just so, you get the guts of good stuff, don't you? Twin Galaxy said, based on the complete body of evidence presented in the official dispute thread, so legal and Twin Galaxy's administrative staff had unanimously decided to remove all of Billy Mitchell's scores, as well as ban him from participating in our competitive leaderboards. We have notified Guinness Book of Records of our decision. So as well as conducting its own investigation, Twin Galaxy said it had taken into account at least 2 different third-party inquiries which came to identical conclusions. It concluded with this ruling, Twin Galaxies can no longer recognise Billy Mitchell as the first million-point Donkey Kong record holder. The new record holder will now be bestowed to another gamer, Steve Wiebe. I think that's a picture of him, I don't know. That might
and
be
how
him.
many points did he get? What's his score?
Don't know. But
so the title's up for grabs if you can find an original machine and not an emulator.
Maybe good luck with that these days. But
good luck.
There's a fair bit on YouTube about all this sort of stuff. And because I read this story and I had an interest in it, so I went to YouTube, had a look around. Because I thought I'd be able to find that King of Kong movie, but I couldn't. It's obviously not on YouTube. But what I did find was someone had put together the 2 videos of, say, the 2 competitors, so side by side, and how they went through the game and their different gameplay as they went through. Yep. It was interesting to see one person, just to maximise points, would just stand there just jumping in one particular spot, just getting 100 points a jump until the time nearly ran out, and then he completed the level. But, that was just one of those little tweaks or little loopholes, that he found to gain more points but doing nothing. But did you used to play Donkey Kong? Are you an arcade person?
When I was younger, I was probably, I was younger than you, I think.
Yeah, not much.
Not much. So I was probably very blasé back in the day, but I did play it. But probably very young to take it all on board and remember every fine detail. But I did play it. Yeah, remember it.
Yeah, I still like Donkey Kong. I don't know what it was like. Say there was 2 arcades when I was growing up down in Coolangatta. Well, probably 3. But there was certain machines at the certain arcades. It's like the Hoyts and events, cinemas or something. Certain machines, certain arcades, And I remember we had to always go down to the furthest arcade in the street to get Donkey Kong.
The better machines.
Yeah, and it had Donkey Kong and Time Flight and all the good stuff. And
I reckon half of them are rigged anyway.
Oh, probably they're hard. Like my high score on Donkey Kong be probably less than 20,000. It's not. I'm not very good. I don't know how they.
Easy.
No, I don't know how they get 1 million. Jeez, I don't know. But look, go and have a look for that King of Kong. It's a good movie if you're into that sort of stuff.
I remember seeing it. I'm sure I saw it. It came out not long back. It was only a few years ago, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. No, it couldn't have been. No, it wouldn't have been a few years because I thought it was sort of at around the time, or if not at the time of that world record when the 2 faced off. The King of, let me look it up. The King of Kong. The King of Kong. Oh, you're right. 2007. Yeah, so it follows Steve Wiebe. So that's he's now the record holder. I hope he never went and hung himself after he lost. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, go and have a look.
I'm sure that I saw it. sure that I've seen it.
Yeah.
Don't know how, but I vaguely remember seeing it somewhere.
Yeah, that's good. It's not a bad movie. All right. What else did you have there, Jordan? Any more?
Yeah, got a couple. Let me open up this. I kind of went ahead of you a second ago just to make sure I didn't get any non-scrolling pages. This is a funny one. I'll just load it up. Give me a second. Emojis leading to serious decline in English skills. I believe that because I reckon I can read emojis better than I can read.
Oh, dear.
Lately, anyway. Okay. Emoji is the fastest growing language in history, and it is ruining young people's English skills. Research by YouTube has revealed.
But it's universal.
Nearly everyone the video sharing website asked said they believed there had been a decline in the correct use of English. Over 2,000 people aged 16 to 65 were surveyed, and 95% agreed with the statement, with 4 out of 5 saying young people were the worst culprits. The research found almost half of British adults were not confident with spelling and grammar. And nearly 3/4 of adults now depended on emojis to communicate with each other.
Oh, God.
The research found. They also rely on spell checks and predictive text to write. Young people's reliance on the picture characters is so high that emojis are used 6 billion times a day. It has been described as the fastest growing language ever.
Yeah, well, I guess it's fast, it's universal as well, which is something.
Yeah, well, it shortens a sentence, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
But when you say you can read them, like what you could, like if there was just a 5 in a row.
I don't mean read them. I just mean you
know what they are. Yeah, right.
You're kind of getting a whole statement in one. You know, they send you a wink.
Yeah.
Or they send you a oh my God face.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more.
And then now you've got these Samsung's bringing out all these new emoji characters, which are replications of yourself, aren't they, or something? They're like little mini yous, and they have all different.
Yeah,
have you seen those?
No.
Like you can design your. Is it that right? Is it? Have I got that? I might have that wrong. That you make your own emoji and kind of looks like you, like kind of like Xbox Live or something. It's got.
I'll Google it. Make your
Google it
emoji. I'll Google it.
I'm sure it was Samsung or something like that. I might be wrong.
I'll DuckDuckGo it. Doesn't have the same ring, does it?
No.
How to make your own emoji? No, how to make your own emoji with custom apps.
I'm sure it was Samsung.
So, okay, let me type in emoji Samsung.
Samsung new emojis or something.
Oh, yeah.
S9, I think it'll be.
It is too. How to make an AR emoji with the Galaxy S9.
Augmented reality.
Yeah, use the Galaxy front-facing camera to map your face, just like the iPhone X. However, on the S9, the focus is on a personalised experience. They might look a little odd at first, but these AR emojis are 100% yours, since each use of photo of your face, of your own face, in order to make one. Okay, so take the selfie. So that little kid, he's taking his selfie. Okay, so now what's that next step? Take a selfie. Customize your new AR. Well, there you go. Yeah, right. Yeah, you could probably get that. I could probably see. Yeah,
I might have to get an S9 now.
Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, does it? It's just like a characterized.
It's just like a little animated version of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, good stuff.
So you can probably send someone a smiley face or an oh my God face. You've probably got to make your own.
Yeah, I could see people doing that. Yeah, nice. All right.
Didn't Apple? I think Apple's last emoji was they did a similar thing, didn't they?
The which? Sorry,
Apple Apple just do a similar emoji thing? That was. I don't think it was actually a replication of you, was it? But it was. I think you could control what the emoji pre-made faces. I think they were. You could make them do, wobble their heads or make smiley faces.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'm finding I'm using those GIFs more than emojis. I still use emojis, I guess, but I like the GIFs. Add a bit more flair to my texts and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Rightio. Did you have any more, or we?
Yeah, I'll have a look. What else have I got? I've got this scroll issue with this app I've never used before, so I have to kind of go back and into my favorites and find what stories I picked and then go refind it. I've read the NASA one.
So yeah,
have you got anything else there you want to read while I'm bringing it up? You can.
No. I'll just tell people about. You can email me at glenn@aussietechheads.com.au. You can get us on the Facebook, like us on the Facebook if you haven't already. I don't know, try and boost some of those likes as well. And just go to athwebhosting.com.au and if you tell me what do I need to do if you've got a web page? What do I need to do to get your website on my host? And then let's do a deal. So you email me.
Do it for free. Free for the first month.
It's got to be a win-win. Can't be a win-lose. So win-win. Give me a win-win proposal, and and we'll see what we can do.
Sounds good.
Did you find your little thing?
Yeah, I found one. Netflix has reportedly considered buying theaters to screen its movies. Speaking of movies, right. The streaming service was in talks to buy, Landmark Theaters, but backed out according to a new report. Netflix is reportedly considering a more realistic plan to get its movies on the big screen by buying theaters. The streaming service was in talks with Mark Cuban's Landmark Theaters chain, but backed out due to the costs, according to a new report from the Los Angeles Times. A source at Variety claims that Netflix isn't interested in Landmark specifically, but has considered acquiring theatrical space. Although the two sources who spoke to the Times say that Netflix ultimately killed the deal, the rumours could still be an important indicator of how Netflix imagines the future in its entertainment industry. Even though Netflix has around 125 million paying subscribers, putting it ahead of competitors like Amazon, which recently announced it had 100 million total Prime subscribers, and Hulu, which is mostly US based, still has yet to earn complete respect from major theatre chains. I'm stumbling all day today, and film establishments. Most recently, Netflix was effectively shut out of this year's, Cannes Film Festival last year? Cannes, yeah. Cannes. Artistic like yeah, something like that. There's too many names in here. I'm not going to continue. You got the idea of it.
Yeah,
I've just got a handful of names and news reporters and places that the information came from. That sounds good.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like when you get down into it, you think, oh well, why can't they just show their movies at the cinema? Maybe the cinema might pay them, 10,000.
When you think about it, you don't really see a lot of Netflix movies at the movies, do you?
No, but that's what I think. What's happening is because once you start getting into it, the cinemas aren't interested in buying the movies to show because the cinemas are they're owned by the movie conglomerates and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. I guess that's how that's working. That's why Netflix is finding it hard to get into that space. But I know these cinemas now, they're all some sort of digital cinemas, aren't they? I don't think they project like the old days anymore or whatever. There's some special screen and the way they do it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because they said they can now like project, say they plug in a TV and maybe project that to it or something. But I don't know. But I'm not sure what that technology is. I could be just totally...
I'm not sure of that technology
off.
Either.
I might just be totally off my head, but...
But if Netflix have some pretty big movies that always air on... they always come out exclusively on Netflix before they go anywhere else.
But I guess, if it's a big one, they probably want to stick it into cinema. Why not? Makes them more. Yeah, well, I mean,
you think how quickly Netflix stuff... I mean, you see it all the time. I see it all the time. You see it everywhere. The Netflix stuff that's, not on Netflix that people have got.
Yeah, because there's only...
Wherever they've got it. Because there's a digital source that people can steal it from or whatever. So if they put it in the movies first, then they're not going to be putting their new stuff up. They can probably, keep it out longer before people actually get their hands on the digital content themselves.
But I'd also come at it as well from another angle is that, because I don't watch many movies, as you know, but the movies that I do watch, they are Star Wars and all that sort of stuff. Well, then James Bond, I will go to the cinema to watch them because I want the big screen experience. Yeah. So could you imagine, like, say, Netflix owning Star Wars and you couldn't watch Star Wars on a big screen because You just couldn't. So that's what I think. That's what I'd become more from. Well, yeah, if Netflix is going to produce some really good stuff, why not? Why can't we get it on a movie screen?
Well, they do produce really good stuff.
Yeah, but
some of the stuff is awesome.
But they can't get it onto the screen because the movie companies are blocking them. I think that's what.
Yeah, I think it'd be really good for them for that piracy thing, because whenever it's aired on their service, someone's already there stealing it. Someone's already streaming it and copying it and sending it out, posting it on the internet for everyone else who hasn't got access or whatever.
Didn't Netflix? I thought the deal with them was they made a series and they just used to dump it on day one, so the whole.
They do. They put the whole series up in one hit.
Yeah, because I've been
instead of making people come back and watch the next week for the next one and the week after for the next one.
Because isn't that show Billions on Netflix? I think let me have a look. Billions.
I've heard of people binge watching shows on Netflix in the trial period. They don't want to get Netflix, but they want to see the show, so they go and register for the 30-day trial, binge watch the show, and then never get a subscription.
Yeah, right. Because see, like this Billions, I'm on Stan. That's who shows it over here. But see, you can't see the whole series in one go. So they must do it with some and not others.
No, I think it's pretty much just the Netflix ones, their own ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure who does
their own shows.
I'm not sure who does Stan. I thought
they probably put all those I think it's Marvel. The Marvel ones are theirs, are they? I don't know. No, I think it's just the original Netflix series ones.
Yeah, but interestingly, just looking here, this on Stan, this one I've got up here on the screen, the Stan one, it's a 5.1 surround sound, so that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could stream. I suppose you could, yeah.
They still stream the digital audio, yeah.
I'll have to get into that because I've got the 5.1 system, but I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, it must, because it comes through the HDMI. So, yeah, that'd be 5.1. Yeah, that'd be 5.1.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to reading
the audio source they're still sending you is still 5.1. Yeah,
excellent.
7.1, I don't know, whatever they're using.
I've only got 5.1. So, yeah. I can't fit
I lost touch with that stuff years ago when we all had home theatre systems and all those things. It was all cool to have it, but then I just got sick of it. I think I discovered that headphones is a way better way to watch television.
Yeah, I
don't miss a trick. If I've got my headphones on, I hear every word. I don't miss it. Don't miss a second.
I got a Sonos. I got a 1.0, so that's all I need. All right, cool. All right, well, I think we've done and dusted for another week. So good stuff. Thanks, Jordan, for coming in on an alternative day. It was good to see you in daylight.
I think you got more daylight than me, mate. You've got a window next to you.
Yes, and a little bit of sunshine. I hope it's sunny tomorrow. So Sharks aren't going too good, but things will turn around soon enough. So let's get behind the Sharkies, for this weekend. Penny Panthers, we can do them over, surely. All right, good stuff. Thanks, Jordan. We'll see you next week on next week's show.
I think Jason will be back next week, will he too?
I'd say so. Yeah, I'll.
You gotta love you gotta love the humour Jace has. He's always got a joke for us.
He does. He's very, very dry sometimes. That's good.
He likes to lighten the mood.
Yes. All right, good stuff. Thanks for that, and thanks for listening, downloading, and however else you're consuming it. You're doing great guns. Downloads are going great guns. I should pull in some stats. I might do that again next week if you remind me. I'll open up the stat machine and dig deep and tell you what countries and stuff. I did that once, but let's do it again. We'll do that next week. All right. Thanks, everyone. Don't forget the Aussie Tech Radio new shows are up right now, so go grab them. All right. We'll see you then. See you, Jordan. Bye, guys.
See you, mate.